Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses. Once again, this game was donated by my friend Card, and when people donate a game, I try to follow through with their requests the best that I can. That is why Mist is here.
Hi everyone!
And after that last battle, this one should be vastly easier. Because oh my god, that was terrible. Plenish all your battalions, yes please. I was literally just going to do that from the marketplace, but I will take that now. Units, get rid of Anna please. And Manuel and Hahnemann. So this is what happened. So if you missed last episode, go back and check. Because all I have to say about last episode is that's what happens when you don't level up the characters that are in the paralogs. It's also what happens when you just don't level up your characters enough anyway, but what can you do, I guess. I can still hold one more person. Who else needs a level? I mean, technically Catherine, but I don't know if I'll be using her anymore at this point. I guess Bernie can come into the party. Alright, where are we at? Oh, I hate it when the map is backwards. Alright. Pretty standard set of enemies here. Just got some Imperial soldiers.
One moment.
Okay. Let's get our fighters in the front lines. I don't have anybody on that side. Let's get somebody over here.
Alright.
Serene. Serene, you actually need to not fight in this one. After you freaking got level 30, freaking 4 levels from that last fight, because she was the only person that survived, she needs to just not even fight in this thing. I can't take her out, can I? Yes, I can. Hang on. I can just take her right out of the party. So she doesn't even have to fight. Neat. That's even better. In that case, let's include Marianne then. Who can she get support with, though, I wonder? Nobody that I don't have currently out on the field. Rip. Well, I guess you can get Sylvain. I'll adjunct Sylvain. Just because Sylvain is already... Well, he's level 22, so that works out pretty well, actually. Then we've got Hahnemann and Manuela here, adjuncted to each other. They're both 19, so they should level together relatively well. Alright, yeah, if I don't have to be in the fight, I'm not going to be in the fight, because I really don't need the levels. I need to look into... well, I guess I gave Leonie that crescent sickle. I just don't know if I have the materials needed to repair anything I'm currently using. Yeah, I do. I have a good few materials, so... get those gauntlets repaired. I think everybody else is alright. At least everybody else is in the party anyway, because most of these people are not in the party. Probably something I want to do on my next exploration is go buy a crap ton of the smithing stones and just make sure everybody is fully repaired up. Oh, that's interesting. I wasn't sure how it was gonna handle me not being in the party. It puts it on Marianne. Yeah, take care of this guy.
Luck wasn't with you.
And then Hanuman come up behind and attack that guy.
Should have studied harder.
20. Nice. Alright.
Let's get to it.
Leone, go ahead and come on in. Oh, I didn't see that they had like a whole path here they could take. That's alright. I'll get blocked or something.
That takes care of that.
Yeah, there you go. That works.
I will get the
Petra can come up here. Get wrecked. Gee, these guys are considerably easier than that last fight.
Here goes.
Think about, you know, the fact that they're freaking like 10 levels lower than the other guys were.
Leave it to me.
Scythia,
Here we go.
Mercy,
Homie.
Marianne. Oh, I could have attacked, I guess. 30.
No use. I will remove it. My heart.
Sorry. Got sinuses again. Seems like I always have sinuses lately. Bam, bam.
Victory received.
I'm okay with this. Petra is the one that needs levels. Bam, bam.
One more success.
Good job there, Petra. Taking all 3 of them. Oh, Lysithia. That works.
Harder.
All 21. We're good. Did not even see that guy. Good job. They are throwing in a lot more mages as of late, though, I'm noticing. There've been a way higher amount of mages than there usually were before. Go ahead, Annie. Get that guy out.
Can't afford to lose.
Can't afford to lose. Definitely not. Especially after that last fight where nobody got freaking experience. Yes, I'm going to be referencing that for quite some time to come because, oh my god. That was ridiculous. Oh, I guess I can't reach that guy from here, I see. Can reach this guy, though. Get him wrecked. No damage. Or just miss, that's fine too. No damage and miss are both good. And Mercy can come up and heal her now. Leone can come up and around. And this guy, 1 health left. Yeah, just stay right there, you're fine. You come up here. Oh yeah, you can kill this guy. Do that. Didn't even realize he was still standing there. Even though I literally just attacked him and didn't kill him and knew I didn't kill him, I did not realize he was literally right there. Can I attack from that distance? Oh, come on. Sure, why not?
Of course, after we start recording, I really start feeling tired.
Yeah.
Recording this episode. Blech.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, we were kind of in between battles anyway. There wasn't really a good spot to stop. I mean, we did technically just save, but still. Can I Deadeye anybody with good accuracy? But yeah, I know I can Deadeye, but I meant, like I said, with good accuracy here.
Can I go now?
That guy. I've been using Deadeye a lot in my Black Eagles run. Bernie and Deadeye are like made for each other, it seems like. 35% chance to hit, still wins. Threat.
Threat eliminated.
Threat eliminated. Ugh. Alright, to do, you need to step back. Is that the only guy left? Yeah, it is. Oh well, alright. Yeah, to do, Leonie, you guys can step back at this point. Tactical retreat! Hanuman, go ahead and Thoron, I guess. Dang, I really wish you could have killed that guy. Petra's really the... Annie's the one that needs him, though. He's going after Petra either way. I guess he's ranged. So Petra's not going to attack back. You know what? Next round. That works. Now Annie can be the one to get the kill on. She's the one that needs it the most. Lowest experience. I don't think it's going to level her, but... Yay! That was an easy fight. MVP Petra!
Alright.
That was a very, very easy fight. So easy, in fact, that it only took us 10 minutes.
Oh boy.
Well, we'll just do some stuff here, and then we'll go from there. We'll hit up the monastery. I mean, do I really want to explore since I could do one more battle? And try to get Annie's levels up. Everybody's motivation is really good already. And there isn't any more instruction after this. I might do another fight because I really need people to level up more. Annie. Let's focus on that face. Oh, nobody even has like 4 motivation. They just kind of have 3. That's alright. Well, some people have 4, but that's alright.
Bernie needs to work on her writing.
True. Bernie needs her writing. That's what it was, in fact. I was thinking, I'm going, somebody had a budding talent I needed to unlock. Which one was it? Bernie needs to work on her writing. That's exactly who it was. Alright. That's what I was actually looking for. So that works out well. Guess let's keep...
Of course.
Oh, you know what? I don't think I gave Felix his shield. Now that I think about it. Should probably do that at some point. Ash is currently the sniper. Unless I want to start him on something that he's got nothing in. He has nothing else but bows at the moment.
Yeah.
But at the same time, his bows are basically maxed out, so I don't know if there's any point in not...
I mean, swap him to Lance and Riding.
Yeah, that might not be terrible.
He's after all got the budding talent and Lance is already opened up, so...
Yeah. We did train him all the way up on Lance's for his talent. That was pretty decent, actually.
And you can also set both him and Bernie to work in the stables for the weekly tasks.
True. Very true. Leonie needed more writing. I remember that. So let's do that. Because she needs to go Paladin, but she's not high enough in writing yet to do Paladin. Oh my god, look at all these people that I haven't even touched yet. Got one more. Let's just go ahead and do Ingrid, I guess.
Let's see, what does she need? Does she need anything? Masterclass only.
Yeah, no, she's good. She's already got Falcon Knight.
Okay. Well, do we want to set her to maybe go into a random class or just have access for the heck of it?
That is a question. What does she have right now? It's just all E+. You know what? More healers. More healers are always good.
I don't know if she'd be able to use magic in the last class, but, you know.
True. Oh well. Well, we'll see what happens.
If you need an extra healer, though, she'd be there and you could swap her into a class that can use magic, so.
Right. That is always a possibility. Whoops. Stables.
Yep, stables. Bernie and Ash.
And Ash. And then Bernie is already good. I was gonna change somebody's goal, I remember that. Or did I already do that?
What are Ash's goals set at? You need to...
Oh. he needs, was it Lance and writing?
Yes.
So yeah, I definitely need to do that. And then Ingrid's already good. So I mean, I guess I could keep her that just because that would get her to A+ and beyond eventually.
Yeah.
But
once you hit A+, though, there's no reason for them to keep working on a thing.
Right. Like Catherine over here, who's got swords already freaking maxed out, basically.
Have her work on her authority.
True. I mean, I don't think I'm ever gonna use her, so she's never gonna get a master class anyway, but I guess I'll keep focusing on Brawl till she gets that further up. Lance and Authority here. Authority is always good because...
You could pop Schmear to Lance and Writing to also go Bow Knight.
True. Very true. I mean, Authority, though, is always good because of the fact that... Authority does let you equip better battalions and things.
Mm-hmm.
So... You know what? Lance and Authority, because your Authority needs to go up a bit. Same with you. Ugh, D rank. I don't like seeing D rank Authority. Need more Authority. Alright. No, I literally just set you to what I wanted, so you're good where you're at. Actually, we might have enough for an episode because of the instruction and this tea time with Felix. Now that I'm looking at our time here. Let's see.
Why am I here? Oh,
Why am I here?
Rama, my favorite tea. Why, thank you. Not bad.
I know I've said this before, but I love all the little details with the animations of the characters' models.
Yeah. They're actually surprisingly fluid for how many characters they've had to actually...
Crests.
No. I didn't
No?
think it was
Damn
Crest
it.
because he hates Crests. But I couldn't think of either of the other ones.
Impressive.
No,
Gambit.
well.
Spending time with you is not bad.
But you can just tell it's so polished.
Yeah. Like I said, considering just how much they had to model, like, and that's the thing, like, I know that a lot of people give, like, the new Pokemon games a lot of crap because they're not very fluid, but, like, think of just how much they have to model in Pokemon, like, seriously. Like, freaking...
Everything for every Pokemon.
Yeah, like, there's...
Then the moves.
Yeah,
Then
like, there's...
the wild area.
There's like
Wild
600
area.
and some odd Pokemon in
Thanks for your
freaking
hospitality.
Sword and Shield. Especially with the DLC coming out. It's not all 800 and whatever, but, like, think about that, you know? Like, you know, a lot of people give Game Freak crap because it's like, well, they've got a lot of money because they're a multi-billion-dollar company, yes, but they are
Money
very
doesn't
small.
always equal time.
Yeah,
While time equals money, the reverse is not true. Money does not equal time.
right. Yes, indeed. Like, it's like, you know, and that's just the Pokemon they have to model. Think about all of the completely new environments they have to create.
The clothes.
Yeah, the customizations now that they have to add to the game. The fact that it was being put on the Switch, the very first freaking Switch game that they've made yet. And
Pokemon Camp.
yeah, and I said this during one of my Black Eagle streams, and I had somebody there
You've
at
done
the
me a great
time.
service.
They kind of informed me, you know, I made mention during a Black Eagle stream, I was like, you know, I like the, you know, got a couple of supports. I was like, we've got, you know, I like the way that, Flame. You know, I like the way that the supports are, but I'm going, it would have been nice if they had been a bit more fluid, you know, if they had really polished out the supports and everything. And somebody went, you realize that this is the first time that they've done like a 3D thing like this. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, this is the first time they've done anything like this in any of the Fire Emblem games? Like, yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
With the cutscenes, yeah.
Yeah, with the, like, whole 3D cutscenes and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, if this is the first time they've done it, like, that makes sense. I don't have a complaint with the way Pokemon looks on the Switch or anything about it, because it's the first time they've put something, you know, not only is it the first time that Game Freak has put something on the Switch,
Right.
or I should say it the other way. Not only is it the first Pokemon game on the Switch, it's like the first game that Game Freak themselves has put onto the Switch. And when you come from a franchise that has literally always been almost entirely freaking handheld. You know, yes, they've had their spin-offs and things, but that's a whole nother thing, because you have to think about, they have to put out one of these mainstream games every year, 2 years at most, you know. Everybody's going to expect a second version of the game, or third version as people call it. You know, everybody's going to expect a third version of the game. Everybody's going to expect a remake of some kind, you know. Like, in order to keep up with the demand that the people are going to have on them, they're going to literally have to put out one mainstream game every single year. And that's the mainstream core RPG Pokemon games. That's not counting the 6 or 7 spin-off games they put out per year. You know?
So, well, this is not from the Fire Emblem game prior to Three Houses. This is what the support conversations were like for the 3DS era, at the very least. And it was similar things for everything previous.
Oh, yeah.
You have two static portraits of the characters that do have some facial expressions that can change, but they're static images.
Right.
In front of a static background with text boxes, but text boxes are here as well. But it's also not voice acted. It's not fully voice acted like this is.
Right. It's not fully voice acted. It's like there is so much, and I can. Just 1 second.
Awakening was just the easiest game for me to grab a picture of because I've been replaying it. This is no secret. I've been replaying it recently.
Right. And I mean.
And here's the picture. Hello.
Just, fit that to screen. So yeah, I mean.
My phone camera's not very good at taking picture of other screens, but you know.
Right. But I mean, if you consider the fact that just basically yes, this is Awakening, so that it isn't the previous game, but like this is still what it looked like in the previous game versus like this. I mean, here's what it was. Here's what it is. Here's what it is. I can understand why it looks this way. You know?
Another thing that I just have to bring up because it's so funny. The models for Fire Emblem Awakening don't actually have feet.
Yes, that's also true.
Pegs.
Will you please teach me?
Yeah, I mean, it is a 3DS game too, so when you think about it that way.
They did get some improvements in the other 3DS installments, like in Fates. They actually have feet. And then in Echoes, the models were just polished immensely.
Right.
I would not dream of it. To do.
Here, let me. So, you know, we're talking about, you know, first versus later and everything. Let me show you guys a couple of pictures here, just to show you just how vastly
Phil, this is one way to pad out the episode.
Right. Let me show you guys just how vastly different the graphics on a single console can be here. And when it comes to the Fire Emblem versus the way that Fire Emblem is now and things versus how Pokemon, the way that people think Pokemon should have been and so on. I was going to show you two different pictures of the same character, but I can't seem to find a second picture of this character. So, I'm just going to grab two screenshots that are both from two separate games, but they're both on the Nintendo 64. And when I show this first one, you're going to take one immediate look at this and go, oh my god, what am I even supposed to be looking at? Because it doesn't even look like a thing. And, like, okay, look at this.
Yeah.
So, very first 007 game ever put on console was GoldenEye. Now, compare that to the way that the last one, World Is Not Enough, looks. Like, again, I was going to try to get both of them as James Bond, but I couldn't. But, like, you look at James Bond here on the left, and, like, where is his face? But meanwhile, in the basically very next game, World Is Not Enough, granted, there was, like, 4 years in between. But basically, the next game, because there wasn't another James Bond in between, and, like, you can immediately see that the characters have faces, recognizable models, you know, like, they actually look like people, like, this is, you know, yes, it's like a 4-year difference between those two pictures, but it's the same console. And, so yes, I'm sorry, like, I understand, you know, for those of you who are fans of who might be fans of Pokemon or whatever, you know, who have had the issue with, like, well, it doesn't look the greatest or whatever.
Hello, Marianne.
Remember that it is the very first Pokemon game ever on the Switch. Well, not ever. They did have Let's Go. So I guess it's not the first, but it's the first of its variety. It's the first that has had, you know, Let's Go had 150 Pokemon, barely any battles, things like that, because it was all like, you know, throwing the Pokeball and catching it like Go. But you can see, you know, that there's like 400 and some odd Pokemon in Sword and Shield. And that's just the Pokemon. That's not counting every NPC. That's not counting, usually when they do Pokemon, the overworld graphics are not the same as the battle graphics. So technically, for every one model, you're looking at least 2. So for 400 Pokemon, that's 800 models to begin with. That's not counting, you know, the Alolan forms, the Mega Evolutions, the, you know, well, I guess Mega Evolutions and Z moves weren't in Let's Go, which, by the way, I am not broken up by. Because Mega Evolution, Z-Moves, they were cool, but they were both very much specifically designed for Generation 6 and 7. I don't see the fact that they removed those in 8 being any issue at all. You know? But like, so you've got your Kanto forms and you've got your Alolan forms of several Pokemon. So for every Pokemon that's in Let's Go, there's 151 Pokemon. That's 302 models, plus all of the Alolan forms, of which there were like 15 or 20. So that's another somewhere between 30 and 40 models. You're already looking at almost 900 models. Or not 900, almost 500 models. Just alone for the Pokemon. That's not counting the characters who, again, if they're still doing that separate models for Overworld and in battle, that means that every one of them is doubled, and then your character has customization. So for every customization, there's an entirely separate model, which of course, since there's like 15 customization like options, that on its own is a lot of different models, because you have the difference between what is one model and what is another model, and you know, every variation of the customization and things like that has to be in there. And it's like the Pokemon is so big that they just do not have the ability to put out a game every single, a mainstream game every single year,
I've got to get going.
plus go in and do all of those extra side games that they have to put out every single year.
I will forever
You know,
be your knight.
it doesn't matter how big of a company you are, even if you were freaking Blizzard Entertainment being one of the biggest companies I can immediately think of. Even they wouldn't be big enough to be able to handle that. You know, you think about Blizzard Entertainment and they've got what going for them? Overwatch, Diablo, World of Warcraft. That's 3 games.
Each one of those games has a near entirely separate development team.
Right. So, like, that's 3 games that they put out. And even then, like, Overwatch, they're not putting out a new Overwatch game every year, like they are Pokemon. They, you're not putting, they're on Diablo 4 now, and even that's still not actually officially announced. Like, they've got 3 games, one of which they actually work on heavily, 2 of which they are in development, but they're not heavily working on. Meanwhile, how many games does Game Freak have to work on? 2 different versions of the mainstream game. A Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, as we found out they're doing. Who knows what other levels of side games. Again, they usually put out 2 to 3 or more every single year in the way of side games. They're putting out 7 to 8 games per year. Even Blizzard Entertainment wouldn't be able to do that, I'm sorry, but regardless of how big Game Freak is, and I know Game Freak isn't very big, and people will say, well, look at how Breath of the Wild looked. When was the last time a Zelda game was released before Breath of the Wild? 5 years. It was 5 years in between games. That's hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of people. I think there was some 600 to 700 people that were reported working just on Breath of the Wild alone. Game Freak doesn't even have 500 employees. I don't even think they have 100. I mean, they might, but they don't have 600 employees working on the next mainstream Pokemon game. It took 5 years for Breath of the Wild to look as good as it did, function the way it did, play the way it did, and people want that for Pokemon in a company that's not even half the size of freaking Breath of the Wild. Also, I'm totally not paying attention to this, even though I've not actually seen it.
You made me realize that I have a somewhat...
I'll have to actually go back and
thanks to you,
just rewatch it on the recording, because it's just like, Whoa, encoding overloaded. Consider turning down your video settings. Ooh, I haven't seen this.
Oh boy.
I could say the same thing, Your accusations.
That certainly does not seem good.
That does not seem good, no.
Cooled down,
I mean, the error went away. It might just mean that there's like a blip in the video or something. I guess I'll have to check when we're done, but...
That's good to hear. It seems this wasn't a fruitless clash for either of us.
Indeed. There's nothing more depressing than...
But no, like, this game looks fantastic for the amount of people that worked on it. And Pokemon looks fantastic for the amount of people that worked on it. And Breath of the Wild looks fantastic, but they also had 700 people working on it. If you want a Pokemon game to look as good as Breath of the Wild, which I know is what everybody that I've ever talked to about this has said, go to Japan, get hired by Game Freak, hire 700 people to work under you. There. Now you'll be able to make a Pokemon game that looks like Breath of the Wild in 5 years. Otherwise, I'm sorry, but it's just not going to happen. Now, you might get something that looks like this. That I'd be okay with. But also think about that they only really had to model one place in this whole thing. I mean, they had to model all the battlefields, but you reuse battlefields regularly. You've only got Garrigmach as your actual, like,
Perhaps you're struggling
place that you wander around at, you know. They had the time to work on the models, work on the supports, work on the, you know, animations. They had the time. Games like Pokemon, where they had to put out one a year, completely make everything from scratch. You know, whenever they move to a new console. Because you cannot take the 3DS graphics and upgrade them. You may be able to take the animations, because that's literally just, like, programming.
As your friend,
but you can't take a model that has 20 polygons and put it on the Switch, because that's just not gonna work, you know? Try plugging in your N64 sometime on a big flat screen TV like what this is running on. And when I say big, I only mean like 25 inches or something like that. It's not ginormous. Try taking your N64 and plugging it into a flat screen modern day TV. Look at how bad it looks. Now imagine a game that looked like that. That's what Pokemon would have to do to keep just reusing assets all the time. They did not reuse assets, because that is what it would look like. Anyway, that was like 20 minutes to do freaking like 4 supports there, but whatever. I didn't anyway,
we went on a rant.
We went on a rant, and hopefully nothing bad happened to this episode. If so, I can always just reload the previous save. I do still have it. It's right there. So I can still hit up the supports at least, so we'll see what happens. In either case, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe. Check the video description down below for a link to the playlist. That way you can get caught up on any of the episodes you might have missed. Because this is episode 69, so there's a lot of them. Oh my god, this is episode 69. I didn't do a joke for episode 69. Drat. Oh well. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time.
Have a good day, everyone.
See you later.